Okay, so today we've got Roland Martial,
Thank you.
and he's an entrepreneur in mental fitness and habit theory, founder of the Unbroken Fitness brand. You've gone through your own life struggles and come out the other side, and you're a strong advocate in self-improvement.
Yes.
You're also a friend of mine.
Yes.
So yeah, I feel like we need to talk about how I know you first, because we met years and years and years ago on a film set in Harrogate.
Yeah. Do you remember the film name?
Hunter's Prayer.
Oh my God, you remember? Yes.
Hunter's Prayer, which was being filmed in Harrogate, and me and you were extras for, was it 3 nights running?
Yes. You remember.
Nighttime shooting, and they were, I think it was like 15-hour evenings, like 15 hours.
Yeah.
Freezing cold.
Yeah. And the food was horrible.
The food was horrible.
Yeah. It had like a tin tuna thingy.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
That
was like what? Like 12,
it wasn't great.
Nearly 20 years ago? How long is that? I can't even remember. It's that long ago.
I feel like it's definitely over 15 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Which sounds mental.
It's mental.
But I remember me and you sat in a tent setup or a marquee or something with like a tea or a coffee, thinking, are we ever going to do anything today?
Yeah.
And then we ended up having about, what was it, like half an hour, 20 minutes going onto a street to walk up and down past the scene that was going on.
After waiting for so long.
And we were there for about 15 hours.
Yeah.
And I remember getting to one day, and it was the end of the night, and there was a scene where there was like this big like explosion outside of this big manor house. Do you remember what it was called? Something
I can't
hall.
remember the house, but I remember the club scene.
Oh, there was a club scene as well.
Yeah, there was a club scene. I think
well.
we got separated in different groups in one of the nights.
Yeah.
And I was in the outside the club night scene.
Yeah.
And we were not allowed to wear jackets.
You were out. I was inside.
Yeah, we
that
were not
night
allowed
I was
to wear
in.
jackets.
Yeah.
So it was absolutely horrible. Freezing
Yeah.
cold outside. Yeah, I do remember that.
But the scene where we were running out the manor house, that was a night where everything was iced over outside. Do you remember? Everything was iced over, and we were in like ball gowns. The women were in ball gowns.
Yeah.
Guys were in suits. And literally, they're like, oh, we're filming soon. Take all your jackets off.
Yeah.
And then you'd be stood there for an hour waiting to start the scene.
In the cold.
Yeah. And I remember a woman got hypothermia that night as well, one of the extras.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she got hypothermia.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have had
Trivia.
hypothermia, to be fair. I think we were huddled like... People like
Huddled,
used to, we used
like
to like hug
penguins.
as a group, just to keep the warm, the temperature. So it was mental.
It's the life of an extra, isn't it?
And then
Those
after
are the
that,
days.
we just ended up, being friends and making.
Well, yeah, I asked you a few years later, didn't I?
Yeah.
To we kept in touch regardless. But I asked you to be in my feature film Pumpkins.
Yeah.
As one of my actors. Yeah. Still have the DVD, and
that was a fun
which is still there to watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
You played
Pumpkin.
Lance.
Yeah, Lance, the
leader of the
leader,
survival camp. Yeah. Yeah, that's
it
how we
was such a
know
fun
each other.
project. It was such a fun project. I still
was a
watch
good
the
laugh.
DVD to this day. So.
Yeah.
I still need Bite Night though. That's the other film that we did.
Yeah, and you were in Bite Night as well.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I need the DVD for that. So you still owe me one.
I still need that. And you were playing a rocker in that.
Yeah.
You were a punk rocker called... Oh my God, what was your name in Bite Night?
What was it? No, I was not. I don't think I was a featured character because I got eaten.
No, but you were one of the main punk rockers.
Yeah.
In the group.
They got eaten by a bunch of sexy vampires.
You got eaten by vampires or something. I don't remember your name. How bad is that?
Oh, I can't remember.
Like
I need to go back in the script again.
I co-wrote the script and I don't even know.
Good
We're going to
times,
find out.
really.
Good times, yeah. But anyway, you've... so from this time I've known you, I haven't seen you, have I, for... How many years would you say it's been since I've seen you? 7, 8 years, maybe?
Yeah, probably 7, 8. Yeah,
maybe 7 or 8 years, yeah. And within that time, you've gone through loads of life changes. You've had lots gone on, which has led you to where you are now with Unbroken and being an advocate for mental health and self-improvement and all that kind of thing. So rather than us rabbiting on about our fun times and stuff, I really want to find out how you got to your Unbroken brand. So what is Unbroken? What's it all about?
So the way I like to describe Unbroken is an activewear brand for adversity.
Yeah.
I personally went through some pretty terrible time, I would say, that led to me trying to unalive myself. And in the process of recovery, I found out that the single most important habit that you can have that can move the needle in terms of improving your depression is exercise. So, that led me to believe that, out of all the options that were given to me, I really, really responded to exercise. You've known me in the past, I used to exercise before. When my trauma happened, I completely stopped exercising. But when I picked that back up, small bits, day by day, I saw a genuine improvement in my mental health.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to pass that knowledge on and inspire other people to do the same.
Yeah.
Because when I went through my own depression, I just realized how many people are suffering with poor mental health. And like many people, the first response that I had was medication. Not only do you have lack of support in terms of NHS, like lack of staffing, lack of resources, in terms of even the organizations, the charities that help. There are not many that specialize in charities for men. So in terms of going towards and repeating the usual points, which is like therapy, which is like antidepressant, I really wanted to put exercise first and foremost as one of the possible solutions to improving your mental health.
And exercise isn't really, I don't know if you find this, but I find exercise isn't really advertised within the health industry as the go-to thing to fix people and help people. It's more, take this medication. Go to this counsellor, have these pills, have these, and it seems to be very focused on that and not sort out your nutrition, sort out your fitness.
You pretty much describe my journey through the mental health care system, in a sense, because when I first started, struggling with my mental health, obviously start with therapy, after therapy, antidepressant, but they are not as effective as exercise.
Agreed.
A lot of studies show that exercise outperform antidepressant in cases of like mild to moderate, severe to suicide ideation. Exercise can actually do it. So the motto that I like to go by is, when you feel bad, start moving. Because if you move your body, the mood follows, kind of thing. So, and in the fitness industry, like you said, they don't really advertise it as something that helps with your mindset or your depression. They more advertise it as something that's to look good in clothes. A lot of the other fitness brands out there emphasizes the physical aspect of fitness, looking good and things like that. What I really want to bring forth is the mindset change that can really turn your life around. Because exercise is not just something to look good. I discovered it's a keystone habit. You start exercising and then you start eating clean. And then you start losing the weight. Start losing the weight and you say, oh, maybe I need new clothes. And then that those little building blocks can actually improve how you feel about yourself overall.
It's almost like I don't know what it is, but it's almost like people don't realise that when they say to you, oh, why are you so obsessed with the way you look? If you train a lot, no, I'm obsessed with how I feel when I train. I'm not obsessed with how I look. I'm obsessed with how I feel. How I look is part of it because it makes me feel good, but then it's more mental than anything.
To be perfectly honest with you, I used to be like that when I first started my fitness journey. I was just concerned about how I looked and everything. But I think the best part about fitness is, like you said, is the mindset change. It teaches you so many skills that you can carry in other aspects of your life, like discipline, delayed gratification, things like that. It really, really helps you in other aspects of your life. So if you are really looking at exercise just as something that allows you to look good, you're really underutilizing it.
Yeah. You're just on the edge. You're on the cusp of what
you are
you're
literally
unleashing.
just touching the surface. There's so much more that comes with having being the kind of person that exercises regularly.
Yeah.
And I think it's absolutely invaluable to really get that knowledge through, because we've gotten in a society where I feel like it's getting so superficial as well. Because another thing that really bothers me about the fitness industry is, we are so hyper fixated on looks that is gone towards substance abuse now, whereas initially exercise is something that can allow you to fend off substance abuse because of that delayed gratification.
Yeah.
But now they are so hyper fixated on looks. Now they're abusing steroids, they're abusing certain substances to get the result quicker because they are so focused on
it's going the other
physical
way.
aspect. So it's a fine margin. So while I'm promoting fitness, I really want to drive it home that is mainly going to benefit greatly your mindset and your mood. The body will come automatically. You don't even need to focus on it, because if you keep your routine, you keep your discipline, the body will come on its own. But the greatest benefit is in the mind and in the mood, I think.
Yeah. And so mental health wise, obviously there's a lot of talk about, how things can help your mental health, and, people are suffering more with mental health, and it's social media's fault and it's lifestyle's fault and all that kind of thing. Do you think that mental health is getting worse? Is it talked about more, or is it just a case of it's always been the same? We're just more aware of it. I don't know. What do you think the situation is with mental health?
I think it's a little bit of both, because we have to remember that suicide is the biggest killer of men under 45. That is serious. It's not cancer. It's not car accident. It's not even drug abuse kind of thing.
Under 45.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the biggest killer of men. I think the second highest is between 45 and 65. So men and the amount of suicides account for about 85% now. Women attend more, but men are more successful at actually completing the act. Okay. What that tells me is that both genders are suffering.
Yeah.
I think men are just better at finishing it.
Yeah.
Which is
it's a hard way of saying that, isn't it? We're better at ending it.
Which is sad, really. But it just shows that both genders need help.
Do you think maybe guys think about it more and pre-plan it more? Do you think that's why? If women attempt as much as men, but men are more successful.
I think for me is the lack of social guardrail for men.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit of a story. I personally believe that your social circle as a man is crucial to act as a guardrail from suicide.
Yeah.
Because in my personal case, I learned it when it was critical.
Yeah.
When I was in my previous relationship, due to high levels of jealousy, I didn't maintain my friendship as much as I should.
Yeah.
However, I did have a friend that was looking out for me. And she ended up being the one to save my life, surprisingly. So when I was going through the whole process and I was impulsive, I wanted to take my life, she saw the same symptoms from afar and she reached out.
Yeah.
And she acted as the guardrail. So I think because men don't tend to maintain their relationship as much as women, they don't have as much safety net.
They don't have a support group around them as much.
Yeah, they don't have as much a support group as much. And I think that could be the contributing factor as to why men end up taking their lives more, although women attempt more. But women find it a lot easier to communicate with their peers, things like that. Whereas men struggle to do that. So I think what's happening is that lack of social circle for men means that they don't have a guardrail. Like when things get really bad, they only have themselves to rely on.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have the lack of support system in society itself, in terms of the NHS or the charity groups. Like I mentioned, Calm is the only charity that helped me when I was in that situation, which is
Calm is, what's it called again?
Against Living Miserably. Yeah, and absolutely great charity, but they acted as a guardrail for me as well.
Yeah.
So these are systems that I think that are important. So I think, to answer your question about is it getting more, are people suffering more of mental health, or is it just talked about more? I think it's a little bit of both, because people are seeing more and more people struggling with mental health. But I think there are also a lot of factors that that contribute to more and more people suffering. You know, for example, cost of living is one thing.
You could say there are a lot of things going on to
you know, AI anxiety, for example, which is quite new. It's only over the last 4 or 5 years. That's a new problem in society. So things like that add up to create a little bit more mental struggle for people, kind of thing. So I think it's definitely being talked about more, but I think more people are struggling with it because of the changes that are happening in society. You know, like if we just go specifically in terms of even the genders, you know, like how men are portrayed in society is not necessarily positive. There's a little bit of an attack on masculinity in society. So the young ones don't, you know, they don't see a role model out there, so that can affect them. You have the increased fatherlessness in society that affects both genders. We now have plenty of studies that show, you know, an absentee father can result in catastrophic consequences for the children, whether it's a boy or a girl, kind of thing. So there's a lot of factors that play into making, you know,
it's a hard thing to measure, isn't it? Because there's so many alternating factors.
It's almost like death by 1,000 cuts, you know.
Absolutely.
So many different factors.
Okay. So, I mean, to be fair, you've already kind of talked about it anyway. You've gone through your own life struggles, and a lot of men will be able to relate to it. Do you want to talk anything about your life struggles, or like your kind of journey into being at the point where you wanted to end it and how you got out of it? You can say as little or as much as you want to. Just if you feel like there's something you could benefit sharing that might benefit other people.
I would say do not underestimate the importance of your social circle. You know, do not underestimate the importance of your social circle. Again, it pains me to say this, but I don't think I would be here if I didn't have the friends that I had at the time that I needed help. You know, because you are so overwhelmed with hopelessness, feelings of worthlessness, and all that kind of things that you genuinely want to end it. And in your mind, it's the logical thing to do. It's really scary.
Is it true what they say about you think everyone would be better off without you around?
Yes. It's 100% true. You feel like you're a burden. You feel like you know, you have feelings of worthlessness, things like that. And it's just the relentless effort of the people around me that really, really help. The kindness, you know, that. And also my friends sharing their stories with me, because, you know, one of them had gone through something similar, so she could really understand what I was going through. And she was not, you know, giving me the platitude and things like that. She was really real. And again, I found out quite recently as well that actually, you know, when you're trying to help a friend out, actually talking about the topic of suicide can actually reduce the risk of the person actually doing it. And she did that to me nearly 3-4 years ago. You know, she openly talked to me about the subject of suicide, you know. And
is that because she knew you were feeling that way, or
she went through something similar, so she really understood where I was coming from. So you know, when you are going through something as, you know, bad as depression, suicide ideation, and things like that, your circle of friends is your immediate, or family is your immediate, are your guardrails. The second thing I would say is, no matter what, if you're able-bodied, move. Moving will always improve your mood. When she used to bring her dog Scout, absolutely loved that dog.
Dogs make everything better.
Yeah, 100%.
Just
100%.
Yeah,
It
changes
just lifts your mood
everything.
up. She used to bring her dog Scout. We'll go on like long walks, and on those days, despite me being essentially a vampire, not leaving the house because I was,
Complete
when you're
recluse.
that down, you don't want to leave the house and all that kind of stuff. She used to just bring the dog, take me out, we'll go for long walks, and on those days, I would say a noticeable improvement in my mood. So exercise is really important.
Yeah.
Another one is sleep. Sleep can play a lot with your mood and affect your mental health as well. So making sure that you try and get quality sleep. Obviously, when you're going through depression, it's not that easy to have quality sleep. So if you have to speak to your doctor to maybe have help with sleeping tablets, do that. But it's important to have that sleep.
It messes with your head a lot, doesn't it? A lack of sleep. It's really a mental imbalance, isn't it? Because if everything, you function like better in regards to all aspects of your life if you have enough sleep.
Yeah. You think better, you're more creative, you're more patient with people,
exactly,
you're less irritable. So there's a lot of benefits to sleep. And the other two thing is, is the feeling of worthlessness, being a burden and things like that. I think those feelings need to be tackled quite early on, because I feel like in my particular case, that made the process of improving take longer than it should, because I didn't address those feelings.
Okay, yeah.
Because when I feel like, I don't know if it's the same with everyone. Again, I'm not necessarily an expert, just someone that went through and that started reading.
Well, you're talking from your experience, aren't you? Yeah.
But what I've found is that when you're going through that process of depression, suicide ideation, you have a sense that you lack control. And you're desperate to have control over things around you. That was certainly the case for me. And one of the ways to really alleviate that sense of loss of control is to take control of what you can do.
Yeah.
So setting yourself an easy routine,
even if it's not super productive,
can give you that sense of control. Like you wake up in the morning, you go for a walk, for example. You tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I feed myself today to get the energy. Go to sleep early. To feel rested. Do that a couple of weeks. You'll see small noticeable improvement. And
this is what you're talking about with the importance of habits, isn't it?
Yes.
Because habits that create, stability in your life, I suppose.
Yeah. So people have this concept that to change is it's a big act, and you do this big thing, and then all of a sudden you become this new person.
Yeah.
And I used to believe that as well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But through my desire to get fit, I stumbled upon the theory of habit formation. So, you can come out of that mindset, that depressive, suicidalization mindset, through the power of habit. Because what I've learned through habit formation is that true change is actually identity change. You don't have to be that depressed person. Something has happened in your life, absolutely, but it's still your responsibility to deal with the cards that you've been dealt in a way. So you have to take the bull by the horn and decide who do you want to be, in a sense. And through the power of habit, through small repetition over time, you can work your way to become the person that you want to be. I'm still far from that person myself. I'm still in the process of
still working on
myself.
that.
But I can see a lot of positive changes through the power of habits already.
Well, I mean, the where you've come from and to is like a massive difference, isn't it?
Yeah,
massive.
And it has to do a lot with mindset, and it's also something that we don't talk about a lot in terms of fitness. Achieving your fitness goal is probably about 80% mindset. Yeah.
It is, isn't it? It really is.
It's
a constant battle with your mind, and do I want to do this?
If you have the right habits in place, then you can achieve those things. So if someone was struggling with depression, I will tell them, turn to your social circle.
Yeah.
The people that you trust, not necessarily your acquaintances and things like that, like real close connections.
Your close friends. Even those friends who you might not have spoken to for years and years and years.
But you have a strong connection, you have that bond, you have that trust. Go to them, exercise, always a positive, sleep, take control of what you can control, having like small routines, and then progressively decide what kind of person you want to be, and using the power of habit theory and different. There's even a book called The Body Keeps the Score.
Yeah,
they have various ways of dealing with specific mental health problems in a way, and it's really an enlightening book because I have so many different types of therapy that can be very specific to you. So if you take the effort to really see what's wrong with you, strive to fix it, you can. It's not the end of the world. I know it feels that way when you're in that state. You just feel like everything is over, my life is over, there's no point going on. It's a lie from your own mind. Things can always turn around.
And with most people, you do see when they've turned it around, and you think, look at where you've come from, you wanted to end your life, and now look at where you are and all the positive changes you've made. It's like, if you could have known that you were going to be in this place in the future, you would never have.
Exactly. But you just don't see it at the time. You just don't see it at the time.
No.
All you just see is just complete bleakness. It's everything is absolutely over. And it's unfortunately how it works. And unfortunately, we've lost a lot of good people because of it. And I hope that we can, as a society, try and prevent prevent this from happening. So that's really the goal with Unbroken as a brand. Just put those ideas out there and give people, something to aspire to, something to give them hope. Something that they know that, if this person can go through it and come out the other side, surely I can. Because I'm not special. I wouldn't describe myself as someone special. I went through something
special.
Well, if everyone is special, then no one is.
Well, that's a good point. It's very true.
I don't think I have, a secret reserve of strength that allow me to be alive. I've been honest enough to tell you that if it wasn't for my, my social circle, I probably would have been gone.
The right things happened.
The right things happened for me to be here. So, it's really important that people understand this. Otherwise you can lose a friend, you can lose a parent, you can lose a child. And
what's more important than making people aware of how to see the signs or catch it early, and do you know what I mean, do whatever they can to prevent it? Because a lot of people, if they don't know what they're looking for, what is the best thing? People who aren't aware of someone who might be suicidal or feeling that way, what should they look out for? How can they tell?
It's really really difficult because again, I'll speak using my personal experience. Only the people at my workplace knew, because I used to break down at work, but no one else will have known. If they didn't check on me, they wouldn't have known.
Okay.
So depending on, some people can be quite expressive about it and seek help and, have hints. But in my case, I didn't really give hints to people outside my circle in a way. People at work knew, my two closest friends knew, and my parents knew, and that was it. Really. So there was nothing that other people could pick up on except the fact that I retreated and I was not communicating as much.
You weren't yourself.
They will send me a message out and I wouldn't reply just because I just didn't
have the energy
to talk, or the energy exactly. So if there is a symptom that I would say could help people, identify it early, it would probably be withdrawal. If someone in the group chat just not been contributing to the group chat for a while, if you've been messaging your friends, they've not been good at replying as they usually do, just pick up the phone, check up on them. I think that's in fact, that's exactly what happened with my friend. She hadn't heard from me for a while, and she just picked up the phone and decided to check how I was going. And it turned out that it was the day that I was going to do my first attempt.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So
a change in how someone would usually behave, the change in that kind of dynamic, and
usually I think even in the guys, because I try and help men that are going through the same thing, try and guide them, give them a little bit of support and point them to the right help that I got. And it's usually the case that they will withdraw, they don't really feel like talking, they don't really feel like engaging, you start not feeling like wanting to do things that you used to enjoy doing, kind of thing. But that's about the only symptom that so far I could say, because it's really difficult to
that's
identify.
what you can comment on, basically.
That I can comment on.
How do you tell the difference between burnout and depression?
Right. I would say burnout tends to be more sort of like work related. So like your effectiveness at work will be highly reduced. You'll feel heightened level of stresses when you're at work or around work. And typically your mood will improve when you are away from work. Like, let's say you were, because it's very easy to confuse the two, isn't it?
Of course,
I think that's probably why you're asking the question.
It is hard to confuse the two, because I mean, if you're burnt out, your energy is low. Maybe you're ratty. Maybe you're just you go in on yourself. You don't want to talk to anyone. You just want to go home, sit in front of your telly, and just hide under a duvet, because you're just fed up of lots of things happening all the time. It's burnout, isn't it? But then depression is similar. Going in, don't want to talk to anyone, low energy.
The difference for me with depression is that burnout tends to affect mostly your work life, and then it has a slight impact on your personal life, because you need time in your personal life to recover from the burnout, if that makes sense.
Well, because for example, if you're really stressed with work, you can then be thinking about all the things you need to be doing at work while you're in your time you're supposed to be relaxing. You could be laid in bed at night time, and all you've got going through your head is, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to earn money for this and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's work-related stresses. But when it's like depression, it's more how you feel about kind of like yourself in a way. Like you're not enjoying things that you used to enjoy. It affects your sleep, your appetite, how you view yourself. Your self-image is affected. I mean, burnout can also affect your self-image, because you can feel like, maybe I'm not competent at my job, kind of thing. But depression it tends to be more about you as an individual.
It's personal.
Personal, like you said. Whereas like a burnout tends to be more work-related stress, like cynicism, lack of efficiency at work, desire to not go in, things like that. But just for safety though, I would always try to screen, like if I'm speaking to a friend and maybe it's burnout, maybe it's depression, I will always screen for suicide first, because that's the point of no return. And like I mentioned earlier, there are studies that show that if you ask directly about suicide, it actually reduces the risk. So if I feel after some time that I spoke to a guy or someone that I'm helping, and I can see that they are going towards the deep end, I will actually bring that out. I'll say, look, you've not been feeling well for a certain amount of time. Are you thinking about,
because a lot of people won't. I think a lot of people would find it like it's an embarrassing thing to say, or it's something that people don't want you to say to them. Like you saying it's best to ask if someone's feeling that way directly. I think most people wouldn't know to do that.
Most people wouldn't know to do that.
They'd think, well, I shouldn't say that to them, because I might push them.
But I feel like even in my case, I feel like someone asking you that question directly kind of relieves the stress, because it feels like you're not hiding this big secret and this conspiracy with yourself.
It's lifting a weight, is it?
It does help. Even in my case, it did help when I was able to verbalize genuinely how I was feeling to someone that was close, like a close loved one. That really, really helped. So yeah, I will agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about mental health recovery. What do you see to be the best methods or advice that you could give someone either currently struggling or coming out the other side?
Right, is currently struggling or coming out the other side. So I would say it probably depends on the level that they are at. So if they're in a crisis, emergency situation, my personal opinion would be to get them safe first. You know, even if they don't appreciate it, but get them safe first.
Yeah.
Now, if it's not situation of crisis, then I would say, you know, be a good ear without trying to fix the problem necessarily. Like we mentioned before, ask directly about, you know, suicide,
Yeah.
if that's what they are really thinking. You know, try and there's this thing that I've learned from Samaritans, which is the shush method, which is, you know, have patience, use open questions. It's things like, you know, listen, don't fix. What's the other one? This is the shush technique is
You're trying to remember now. Like,
yeah,
what's
it's very specific. I mean, I
Yeah.
have my own framework of like kind of like working with like the people that I work with. I try and kind of like tailor my responses based on who they are as a person.
Yeah,
rather
because
than the
everyone's
rigid
different.
framework.
Yeah.
You know, shush is like a general framework that works with most people, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's not necessarily sort of what they need. But I would say just be a good ear. Don't try and fix things. Have patience. Use open questions, and you know, be present, even if they don't necessarily want to talk.
Yeah.
But just being around physically helps as well. And I think it's very interesting because like the men and women that I help completely different. A lot of the time, like with a guy, sometimes like a friend, like let's say I have a male friend that's struggling, my physical presence without saying a word sometimes help.
Yeah.
You know, whereas if it's one of my female friends or a female that I'm helping, it's more they want to talk things, they want to process
Yeah.
things. You know, they go on tangent. They really want to understand everything.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes guys just need a male,
Yeah.
you know, a friend
Just,
present,
you know, someone's there,
a loved one
basically.
there physically
Yeah,
present.
yeah.
So yeah, so it really depends on the person, but those are the ones. And again, like we mentioned earlier, exercise, sleep, taking control of things, of what you can control, and to ultimately get out of it. My view on the matter is to use habit formation, the 4 laws of habit formation.
Yeah.
So you need to decide who you want to be and strive to be that person using the 4 laws of
Yeah.
habit formation. And you will completely transform your identity through that. You're no longer this depressed person. You're no longer this down person kind of thing. And I think what a lot of people miss as well about depression is, and it's something that I like to tell people sometimes, that you may think that is the end, but it could be the rebirth of a completely brand new version of you.
Yeah.
And to me, that's exciting.
Well, yeah.
Because that's how I've reframed my trauma. I was like, my trauma was the reset button so that I can become whoever I want. Because
Yeah.
with habit theory, you can literally be whatever you want.
You're never that old person again,
Yeah,
are you, really?
exactly.
You're always
Evolving.
You don't go back to
Yeah,
who you were.
Exactly.
You're just a new
constantly
person.
evolving. So,
Yeah.
So I would say, you know, reframing how you see yourself is key as well.
Yeah.
If you can possibly reframe and tell them, look, I know things are bad now, but it could be an opportunity
Yeah.
to be someone entirely different. You could be anybody that you want. Just decide who you want to be, find out what habits will get you there, become that person.
Just take
you know.
little steps to get
Yeah,
to that version.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
There is hope. There is hope. It's just that your mind lies.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is your mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all in there, isn't it? It's just a trick of your mind and convincing yourself or thinking you're something that you're not. And it's my experience of being around depression is you have to decide whether the person wants you there as company or if that person wants to be left alone, because sometimes it is a case of that person wants to be left alone. Sometimes it's a case of they do want you there, but they don't want you to say anything, or they want you to reassure them. So it's just, sometimes it can be confusing for other people who aren't going through it to decide which version of help they want. Yeah. And it's kind of like figuring that out, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the tricky part about helping people, because you really have to adapt, because like so for example, recently I was helping a woman, and I could tell she was not listening to what I was saying, and I couldn't figure out why she wasn't listening to what I was saying, and she just kept repeating herself over and over again, and then it clocked. It was a fear that she was repeating, and I hadn't acknowledged. I was just too busy giving her the solution.
Yeah, do you know? Yeah, I get that.
I was too busy giving her the solution.
I've experienced that.
So when I actually pulled back, and I just thought to myself, okay, the solution from my clear mind is obvious, but she's in a depressed. She might be in a depressed state. She might be in an altered state where she's scared, she's anxious, or whatever. And I was like, okay, what is in what she's saying that I'm not picking up? Yeah. Because when someone is in that depressive state, you have to listen to understand them first before you are understood. Yeah. You have to listen and make sure that you understand them first. Yeah. Because if they don't feel understood, they would walk away. Yeah, absolutely. And you could make the situation worse. Yeah. So I was trying to understand, okay, what in what she's saying I'm not getting, and what she really wanted was for me to acknowledge her fear. Yeah. Like she wanted reassurance. Yeah. Or sort of reassurance.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
So once I acknowledged her fear, then she was able to listen to the solution. Yeah. But she couldn't know that until. But whereas if I'm with a guy, like if let's say I'm with a guy that I'm helping, most of the time the guys want to go straight to the solution. I'm depressed. This is what is happening in my life. What should I do? Yeah, that's exactly how they speak. Yeah, yeah. And if like, how should I do? So as a guy, you tend to just give them the solution. If they don't want the solution, they just want you to be present. You just be present. Yeah. Maybe play some video games. Maybe go for like a pint at
be a distraction.
Yeah, be a distraction.
Be something positive.
Exactly. Yeah, or just be an ear, talk about absolutely nothing.
Yeah, talk about absolute bollocks.
All those are absolutely valid.
Yeah, yeah.
So it really depends on who you are dealing with. It's not a one size fits all. Yeah. Unfortunately, but you have to be really attentive and make sure that you listen, not to fix. You listen to understand what they're really going through. Yeah, absolutely. And then respond accordingly, and it'll be different. Even within your own circle of friends, what each person need will be different. So.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, so in terms of like depression and mental health problems in the working environment, what can employers do to help or do more? Like, I know they have things in place at the moment, don't they? Like work, they have procedures and policies that they carry out, but what do you think they could be doing?
I wouldn't really say it's down to the employers. I mean, there are things that employers can definitely do, like managing workloads, managing, staff relations and things like that. But I'm not necessarily an expert with mental health in a work setting. But from an employee, what I would like to see employers do more is checks and balances in the workplace. Yeah. In a lot of places, sometimes poor mental health result in someone having too much power. Sometimes, like there's a little bit of a power dynamic, or they're overworked or things like that. So, so I would say just managing having realistic, manageable workloads is a big thing to avoid burnouts. Having, I even feel like if a workplace had a habit-based system of working, it could do a lot. I've read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Conway, I think it is.
Okay.
And a few companies have adopted that into their business structure to great effect.
It makes the employers better in terms of how they
mental
work
health,
and
more productive,
everything.
happier, overall happier, and it helps the employees as well self-develop, self-discover, reach their maximum potential. In a sense. So,
well, that's a win-win situation for
win-win
everyone,
situation,
isn't it?
Yes, 100%. So, as an employee, I think I will probably want to see a lot more of that happening. Now, if we really want to tackle the problem of mental health overall in society, it has to come from I will say a culture perspective, because at the moment the culture is very hostile to men, especially.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
The way the media portrays men always like bumbling idiots. You have things like like workplace death kind of things is overwhelmingly men.
Yeah.
You have the fact that men are constantly kept accountable to their masculine role.
Yeah.
And when they fail, the first thing that we say is not, how can we help? Is man up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
I mean? Like, men are not really allowed to fail in society.
Yeah.
Men are not allowed to need help. Men are not allowed to suffer in a way. And if you've also noticed in society, when men are asked to man up in a way, is usually in service of women. Man up so you can assist women in this. In a sense. So there's this feeling of men feeling disenfranchised in society. And I think until we make men feel like they're an integral part of society and appreciated by society, the problem will persist. Now, on the female perspective, I'm not too sure how. I know that from the female perspective, dating is a big part of it. Most of the women that I help, they come from a dating perspective. Whereas the guy is varied. It can be work. It can be
many different things.
Many different things. But from my personal experience, it seems to be mainly dating. For the women. But I wouldn't know how to solve that.
Okay.
I wouldn't know how to solve
the
that.
dating side of things is a mystery. I've not been in the dating side of things, but like from what I've heard, it is and I don't get it. I think it's a really disrespectful area. The dating area now. It's like so many people are kind of disrespecting people, not talking to them, going on dates and then ignoring them, and it's
from
weird.
A guy's perspective, because I think this is something that I've seen with a lot of guys as well, and unfortunately I did when I did go through the same sort of mental process. There's something that I like to call performative cruelty.
Okay.
That's going on in society at the moment, where because of female intra-competition to have the best possible mate, they've become overly aggressive with the average man. As in
kind of judgmental about the average guy.
I'll give you an example. Back in the day when I was in university, if you saw a girl that you were attracted to, you pretty much, it was scary. But you will go and speak to her, and the worst thing that would happen was her say no.
No, thank you.
In 2025, is no longer the case. No is the least that can happen to you.
What
you can get accused of being a creep. You have a TikTok story time. There's a plethora of things. You can be accused of being a gym creep. Do you know what I mean? So there's this performative cruelty that's happening in society where women are overly cruel to the average guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
To signal to other women that, oh, I'm special.
Yeah.
So there's that intra-female competition that's causing them to be so much meaner to the average guys. And I think that's also a contributing factor to a lot of guys like pulling themselves out of the dating. I mean, I'm not dating personally.
Yeah.
I've
you
myself out.
prefer not to be part of that.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not dating. So I've seen that. And there's also this phenomenon where in the dating scene, it's really skewed in the favor of women to the detriment of men.
Yeah.
I'll give you like a funny example.
Go on.
So after my last breakup, the typical mistake that women do is to try and get back on the wagon, try and find someone else.
Yeah.
Because we have this big hole in our heart that we need to immediately fill.
I need to immediately replace this person. Yeah, that's it.
Which is a massive mistake, but
of course
we all
it is.
do it. So as you do, as an average guy, you just go on Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, whatever it is. And I met this absolutely gorgeous Romanian woman.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. And we got talking, going through the whole dating process. But I could feel almost as if she was kind of like playing her options. It was just a hint.
Yeah.
So I just decided, hey, so out of how many people did you have to pick these prints out of? Like kind of just to paraphrase.
Yeah, totally.
Just to figure out if she had
trying to be lighthearted about it. Yeah.
If she was keeping her options open. She told me that she had 10,000 likes.
Right, okay.
10,000. So she and her friend went on Tinder.
Yeah.
And they had this competition of who is going to get 10,000 likes.
Seriously? Wow.
And
that's so shallow.
Took them under a month to get to 10,000 likes. That's when I knew
that's so
that
shallow.
dating apps simply. I mean, it's not. I don't blame her for the shallowness. I don't blame her because at the end of the day, what the dating apps did was they commodified people. They commodified love.
Yeah.
So if you are attractive, of course, more people are going to swipe on you.
Yeah, of course, yeah. No, it's not your fault if that happens, is it?
It's
if
not
you're
your
on
fault
there and you're attractive and people are like, oh, I like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what does that do as a consequence? It blows people's heads up.
Yes, it does.
And then when they go into the real world and they don't get those results, it plays. So I think that's why I think dating is more of a factor for women's poor mental health.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, they go on dating apps, they have all these options.
Yeah.
But in real life, it doesn't work that way. There's a disparity.
In real life, people go off your personality and your looks and your charisma, everything. It's not just...
Whereas on the app, you're just reduced to how good looking you are.
Yeah. Oh, you look attractive.
If you're not photogenic, you're screwed almost.
And then on another one, on a deeper note, you've got the thing of, is that an edited picture? Is that filtered?
Is that AI? You don't know anymore. So it's
so hard to tell what people look like now, isn't it? For real.
So for me, I'm not necessarily into the dating scene. I'm more meeting people in real life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've had the messaging of, don't approach us or blah, blah, blah for so many years that unless you have clear signs, it's not worth
it's almost like the best thing for it to happen is for it to happen naturally and just in a normal situation. And that's it. Yeah. In the ideal world, that's how everyone wants to meet their partner, isn't it? In that kind of not on a dating app.
Sort of meet-cute. Who wants to meet a partner on a dating app?
I want to be sat on the opposite side of the train station with a guitar singing, and then you catch my eye, and then is that thing, innit?
Yeah, I used to be.
It's not real.
To be that guy.
Of course.
I used to be that guy.
Yeah.
Now I have a heart of stone.
No, I'm cold. Kidding. I'm stone cold.
No, I'm just reserved. And, more observant. Once you understand, all the red flags, you can navigate a lot more with more confidence, because you just see, oh, yeah, that's not good. That's
Yeah,
not what's gonna do.
absolutely.
But
Yeah. Okay, so what are your plans and where would you like to take yourself and what you represent in the future?
the plan is to keep working on Unbroken as an active wear. I
Yeah.
would really like the brand to grow so I can support all those charities that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Calm, Family Needs Fathers, Fortalis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Calm is the only UK charity that really does everything they can to really help men's mental health, and I really want to support them through the brand. You know, Family Needs Fathers, they deal with parental alienation. You know, they try and reunite children with their fathers.
Yeah, yeah.
We talked earlier about the importance
Absolutely,
of fathers. You know, fatherlessness is one of the significant causes of poor mental health in society. So, and then we have Fortalis that I would like to work with as well, that specialize in domestic violence, substance abuse, and things like that. I think, if we can tackle all those things, we are gradually, making a slightly better society.
Yeah.
Now, as for myself, I really want to continue my self-development journey, because I realize that being a business owner is self-development on crack.
Yeah.
It's self-development on crack.
Yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of the time, the issues are not actually things like, I need a content strategy or things like
Yeah.
that. The issues are actually me. There's a very, very good book called The Mountain Is You, that completely reframed how I was seeing the task as this massive mountain that I needed to do, into more of my flaws that I need to overcome to make the business successful. So I'm still very much on my self-development journey. I learn a lot with the people that I work with, that I help in terms of mental health. They teach me as well.
Yeah.
And then just keep growing, just keep trying to become the person that I keep acting like the person that I want to become, until I am.
Until you're happy, and then
exactly.
it's good. It's always growing and
ultimately, I would love the brand to be a habit-based brand where we really teach the benefits of habit formation to people and empower them to really turn their lives around after trauma. That's the ultimate goal, really.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I actually really like these hats as well.
Glad you like them.
It's nice. It's nice colouring and everything. Yeah, I will actually use that.
Oh, great.
Especially now, it's cold.
Yeah, it's getting cold.
It's very cold.
It's really getting cold now. So we've got a bunch of hoodies and sweatshirts and stuff
Can all wear
like that.
Unbroken beanies. It's cool. Right. Thanks for coming and have a chat with me. Nice, good catch up with you in general, wasn't it?
Thank you for having me, Maria.
Yeah, and hope it all goes well. It's all going to go well. I'll be keeping an eye on it anyway.
Brilliant.
Yeah, cool.